Greetings. Welcome to day one. I am a little behind time, but you know, we always right on time, so I won't claim that. I was supposed to have my meditation music already kind of like get me going. Been running. And I'm like, okay, I'm here. I'm present, live. It's 3:30. Thank you all for tuning in. Excuse me 1 second. Welcome. Please, I'm a little behind time. Not really. Like I said, I want to claim that it's always divine time. Always divine time. I'm going to get my meditation music going right quick. Give me some water. Hope all is well. How you doing? Welcome. Whew. So, like I said, welcome. Today is day one of our 5-day Instagram live series of overcoming addictions. I'm so excited to be presenting this to you. It's long overdue for me to, you know, make sure I show my face and speak more here on Instagram. So I'm so grateful to everybody that's joining in now or watching the replay. My name is Crystal Bolton. Okay, I am the CEO and founder of Nubian-KreativGoddess, and I help women to overcome drug and alcohol addictions by strengthening their self-awareness so that they can break generational curses or cycles, if you want to call it that, heal their trauma, and boss up. And that acronym BOSS stands for Build on Self-Sustainability. And this means that, you know, you're able to kind of hold it down without help, right? You know, so like say for instance, you have some mental health things going on, you're able to assess, okay, something's going on here, what's going on, pause, how can I shift it? If you are, we're talking about addiction, if you are like, okay, I know I got an issue with some addictions here, how do I shift it? That is sustaining yourself, being able to grow your own food, being able to heal your own body via herbs and other natural homeopathic methods. It's all about sustaining the self. It's just, if you were to find yourself all alone, would you be able to sustain? Would you be able to take care of yourself without any assistance? Okay, so that's the motto: build on self-sustainability. And again, like I said, we do that through strengthening the self-awareness. Once you become more in tune with yourself, you're able to begin to assess what's going on in your life, where it started, where it began, and create an action plan on nipping it in the bud. Okay. If you see me looking down, I'm kind of got my little presentation. Okay, got my little presentation just so I can kind of stay on track and I don't go too all the way left and forget my train of thought or anything like that. The purpose of this series is just to bring awareness to addiction. With my glasses on, because you know I'm over 40 or almost over 40. I am 40. Okay. Thank God I don't look like what I've been through, okay? But yeah, your girl eyes, they be needing a little assistance, so we're gonna assist the eyes. But yeah, we want to just bring awareness to addiction, identify its challenges to recovery. We want to highlight how we can help, and I want to share my story and offer some tools, some techniques, and some resources to overcome addiction. So whether you are someone who is actually experiencing addiction yourself, or you are someone who is supporting someone who is battling addiction, this live series is something you want to check out. Okay. I recently on 11/11, peace, welcome, wrote a ebook. Okay, the Freedom Express, an 8-step guide to kicking addictions to the curb. This book provides actionable steps to overcome addictions, It also talks a little bit about my personal challenges with addiction. There's some affirmations to assist you in reprogramming your subconscious mind, because it's very important to reprogram your subconscious mind as you're going through your addiction. And later in this series, we will talk about mindset and the importance of mindset and recovery. But yeah, it's an easy to it's an easy to follow book that assists you with actionable steps that can be implemented immediately. The beautiful thing about it though is that it can really be applied towards any addiction. It's not, although the cover art is like drugs and alcohol, it can really be applied to any addiction because of the way it's written. This is an instant download, and you can click the link in my bio to purchase your copy for yourself or someone you know that may be battling addiction, or if you're supporting a loved one or a friend who is battling addiction or on their road to recovery. Something to keep in mind as well is that we are approaching the holidays, so it does make a great gift. Just something to keep in mind. You're wondering, what can I get this person? If you know somebody who is battling addiction, that might be a nice little gift to give somebody. Peace. Welcome. Like I said before, this is a 5-day Instagram live series, and we are here on today, day 1, and this is just really an introduction to the series, kind of like what to expect, and just like a brief overview. Welcome, peace. A brief overview of what to expect from this series, and a brief overview of addiction. We won't go too deep into it today. This, like, again, is just an overview, and then each day will be something different, a different topic that we will go into. So today is day 1, introduction to the series and addiction. Day 2 is understanding addiction and its impact. Day 3 will be my journey and why I wrote the book, The Freedom Express, an 8-step guide to kicking addiction to the curb. Day 4 will be the importance of mindset and recovery. That's the one I was telling you about earlier. That one, again, very, very key, very, very important. It's essential. Mindset is everything, okay? And day 5 is tools and techniques for recovery, okay? Again, if you are someone who are struggling with addiction, or you know somebody, or you are supporting someone, definitely go ahead and share this live. If you are finding the replay, share this live. Tune in. Again, we're going live today, the 13th through the 17th. Same channel, same place, here on IG, Nubian-KreativGoddess. Same time, 3:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I hope to see you tuning in every day if you're able to, or if not, just watch the replay. So let's just jump right into it, right? What is addiction, right? So based on the Webster Dictionary, the definition of addiction is a compulsive need for a substance, behavior, or activity that has harmful effects, right? And Wikipedia says that it is a neuropsychological disorder characterized by a persistent and intense urge to use a drug or engage in a behavior that produces a natural reward, right? Despite the substantial harm or negative consequences. Look, I know for me, when I was battling my addictions, I knew damn well, like, baby, you didn't have enough to drink already, and you seeing doubles, and you should probably stop. But I just, I was like, it's feeling real good, and I like it like this until the hangover comes, right? So, anyways, it just connected a lot of dots for me as I went through my journey in recovery, to see, oh wow, okay, that is why it was a little bit more of a challenge. Peace, welcome. Why it was a little bit more of a challenge for me to overcome it, because it does something with the natural reward system within the brain. Tomorrow is day 2, and we'll dive a little bit deeper into like the science of addiction and how it affects the mental and physical health of a person who is experiencing addiction. But let's go back and look at the natural rewards, right? So we look at natural reward. Drugs like opioids, cocaine, nicotine, right? We don't even think about that one probably, but cigarettes, tobacco, nicotine can cause dopamine to flood the reward pathway, okay? When you're engaging in those substances, it's 10 times stronger than you will get it from the natural reward. So what is a natural reward, right? A natural reward is anything that you would gain pleasure from. That includes having sex, That includes good food. I love some good food. Okay, I love some good eats. In fact, when I was pregnant, my sister, my sister would cook my food, and I had a little happy dance. I would hum, and I would like get a little, like, you know what I'm saying. That dopamine was hitting though. Like, so it's just interesting to connect the dots and see how the natural reward and the dopamine kicks in and gets to flooding and just making it rain on you, and it causes this psychological effect, then also this physiological effect within the body. Exercise is another one. So, you know, when we are on our journey to recovery, remember there are some things we can swap out for that same effect. Exercise is a really good one, and it's a win-win. I mean, you're getting the dopamine, plus you're also getting your health in order, right? Another one is spending time in nature. Who would have thought? Who would have thunk it? But it's true. It's very, very true. Spending time in nature definitely sends those dopamine signals to you, and just grounding and all of that greenery and the fresh air, the birds, just really taking a moment to be still and to sit with God's creation and really sit with yourself. And I really, like I said before, we are all about strengthening the self-awareness, and I really truly believe that one of the greatest ways to connect back to the self is to go into nature, right? Excuse me for 1 second. Close that down. One of the great ways that I remember kind of like grounding myself was being in nature. Like, it was beautiful. Like, thinking back, I would just go to the park. I would get me some fresh fruit. I would put my feet in the grass. Okay, like I didn't really even care who was watching. Like, I didn't care who was watching. I would just sit in that and be present in the stillness of the now, you know what I'm saying? And really just engaging with my own spirit and with spirit. And it was just such a beautiful process. And I'm so grateful as I look back and see that although I didn't realize what I was doing, I realized what I was doing, right? Like, the higher self already knows. Peace, welcome. The higher self already knows what's up. And so I'm so grateful that I was able to tap in that way, and just really shift from the turmoil and the mental anguish, because when you're on your path to recovery from addiction, it's not meaning that you're not going to ever have cravings, because you will have cravings. It's going to come up, and give yourself grace, have some compassion for yourself. We have a lot of compassion for others, we have a lot of patience for others, and it's very important that at this time we also give ourselves grace and compassion and be patient along this process, because it is definitely a process. It is a journey. It is not something that's going to click overnight. At the end of the day, what works for one may not work for the other, and that's okay. So really try to make sure that while you're on this journey, you really stay true to yourself and tuned in, tapped into yourself, and following your own spirit and your own promptings is what is telling you need to do for you. Because again, there is no one size fit all. It don't work like that. You know what I mean? No, don't get me wrong. There are some things that may work for, multiple parties, and that's great. But the reality of it is that that's not always going to work. And so you really have to tailor your program for yourself. What that looks like for you is okay. It's what it is for you. And that's okay. It's perfectly okay to know that you can create as you go. Like, there are so many resources available. Um, we are in an information age, so you can pull up your phone and Google anything. We have YouTube University, right? You can sit from the comfort of your own home and say you're interested. You're like, I want to stop. I'm having trouble, stopping whatever that addiction may be. You can easily go onto YouTube and type in whatever it is that you're thinking. Maybe you're saying, I want to learn how to cut my cravings. Type it in, see what pulls up. You have to make your own path, but why not use this guide? Yes, exactly. You have to make your own path, and this is one of the reasons why I created my ebook, The Freedom Express, because it creates a beautiful guide that helps you to, again, remind you that these are some basic things you can do, but also along the way, tap in with yourself. Doing things like meditation and such will allow you to kind of fine tune to your own inner voice, your intuition, and to the voice of God or whatever higher power that you believe in, that allows you to, see where you need to pivot, because along this journey there are going to be times where you're going to have to pivot. You're going to have to say, okay, well, that was working, but it's not working anymore. Like, think about back in the day when I was young. I'm not a kid anymore, but okay, I wish I was a kid again. It just took me left because it made me think about, when you were kids and you were always like, I can't wait to become older, I want to be an adult. Adulthood is overrated. I digress. But anywho, yeah, back to what I was saying. When it comes to the path, when you think about exercise, when you're working out, you may go hard and you like lost a lot of weight, and then you, what they call plateau. It means like, okay, now you're gonna have to shift it and you'll have to do something different because your body is used to it. It's trained. It knows, okay, you trying to like knock down this weight, and that you was doing before, it don't work like that no more. So now you have to shift it up and get maybe some more intense workouts in or something. It's kind of the same thing when you think about addiction as well, because when you first start, so for instance, I'll think back when I first started drinking. One drink might make me feel real good, but as I increase my usage, my tolerance, it increases, right? So now I need more in order to get that same effect or feeling that I did when I first began. Baby, that's the one that'll get you, because you constantly, the more you're using and for the longer periods of use, you're going to need to get more in order to feel more, because what used to work, it don't work anymore. And so I want to just say, give yourself grace through that process as well, because this is a long journey, and it really can be, yes, chasing the high. You definitely chasing the high. If you have experienced addiction, like, okay, I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna share a story. I remember when I was drinking, and I've tried to quit many times. And one time I remember, I remember kind of like, okay, you know what? I need to stop drinking. Okay, what I'm gonna do? Okay, I'm gonna stop drinking the spirits. Maybe I'll drink beer or I'll drink wine. Well, we all know that the beer and the wine don't hit like the spirits. Okay, the beer and wine don't hit like the spirits. So now I need to drink more wine or more beer in order to feel that high, like you were saying, chase that high, that Hennessy, gets Hennessy, and little tequila with some drink of choice. So the wine and the beer is gonna take a lot more to get me there, and it's still not gonna hit. But you're gonna turn into a whole wino, because for that, I can't speak for nobody else. That's what happened to me. I turned into a whole wino because I'm drinking all this wine, and it's still not giving me the same effect as the Hennessy would or the tequila would. So just know that it's okay. Be patient with yourself and understand that it is neurological. Your brain, the more you use, it changes the chemistry of your brain. And again, I won't go too deep into that because that is a part of tomorrow. But know that if you are struggling with addiction and you've tried so many times to quit, keep going, because I don't even know how many times I have stopped drinking, like a lot. And each time it strengthened my resolve. Each time I was able to get a little bit stronger in the process. How dangerous is it to quit cold turkey? It sounds like you tried to do it gradually. Did it work? So it can be very dangerous to quit cold turkey. I do not suggest that. I really strongly suggest that you find a professional that can assist you in creating a plan that will work for you. Because again, remember what I said, what works for one does not necessarily work for the other. For me personally, I did quit cold turkey. Each time I quit cold turkey. I didn't go into any programs, and that's no shade towards anybody who did or does. Do what works best for you. I was able to say, okay, this is enough. I'm done. I can't do this no more. And there was a lot of experiences I had. Like, for instance, one day I didn't even realize it until like like day 3 or day 4, I was like sweating. I was super irritable and snappy. And I just remember stopping and I was like, what? This is what we're talking about, self-awareness. I was like, what the hell? Why am I so snappy? Like, what's wrong with me? And then I said, oh, snap. I'm detoxing. My body is like craving though. It's like it's craving that alcohol. And so as it's going through this process of like wanting it, and then my body, my spirit, and my mind like saying, no, we don't need that, I'm having all these different symptoms. So there are different symptoms, and it can be extremely dangerous to quit cold turkey. And I'm so grateful that I was okay during that process. But I did have some symptoms, seizure-like activity, times where I had heart palpitations. Sometimes I would get really jittery and shaky. And so it's really best to, it's depending on especially what you're using, how long you've been using, and how much you use, to find a program that may be able to assist you with the detox program, so that way you can definitely be safe. Because of course we want to kick the addiction, but more importantly than anything, you want to be safe during that process. Peace, welcome. um did it work? Yeah, it worked, gradually over time, like I said, because it strengthened my resolve. The more I stopped drinking, each time it taught me something different and new about myself in the process. And along the way, I'm a reader. I love to read. And so I was constantly reading books. One of the books that I read, and I'm looking for it because I can't find my copy. I got books everywhere. Like, I love books, especially printed ones. But it was Easy Does It, Mom, Parenting and Recovery. That book is actually, it's a link in my bio if anybody is interested to, like, or you can Google it and read about it if you're interested though in seeing what that book is about. It helped me because at that time I want to say my son was like 2 or 3, on one of my earliest attempts to, it's my oldest son, yeah, he was like 2 or 3, on some of my earliest attempts to stop drinking. And so what happened was I went to the library. Again, I love to read, so I would go to the library, and I came across this book, and it was talking about when you're parenting during in recovery, can be difficult. It can be very difficult, especially reconnecting with your children. And it talked about how parents, oh, it was for mothers, but it could really be applied to anybody. But it would say, like, mom, get on the floor instead of trying to tell your child. You ever sit down with your child to play and they're like, oh, I want to, take my bus and I'm going to ride it in the clouds, and you're like, as an adult, you think logically, you're like, well, buses don't ride in the clouds. You don't control the play. Allow them to take control, and you just kind of be present and follow their lead. They say you going in the clouds, baby, you better ride that. You better turn into the magic school bus and ride the damn bus through the clouds and connect with your baby, and just allow the natural connection to just flow. Um, Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been a challenge, becoming vulnerable and just really telling my story. It's something that in our society is looked down upon when you are somebody who is battling addiction. We feel many things. Shame, you know what I'm saying, is a major one. So a lot of people tend to not fully be forthcoming. Peace, welcome. They're not necessarily forthcoming about their addictions because there's shame that is attached to it. And I want to encourage you that put the shame down. Put the shame down. If you are in a circle and somebody is making you feel shame because you are battling addiction, baby, you're in the wrong circle. Find some new friends. Find some new family. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay. Because everybody's going through something, been through something, about to go through something. And at the end of the day, a lot of times people who, it might be people who you work with or go to school with or, socialize with, and they battle addiction too. You just don't know it. You just don't know it. You know what I'm saying? So don't allow somebody to make you feel bad for what you're going through. And again, that's why I said I help women to strengthen their self-awareness, because as you become more aware of yourself, you become more aware of where your addiction started and why, because that's very important. It's like, a band-aid solution. If you just like, oh, I have a problem with this or I have a problem with that, okay, I just need to stop. No, because you're going to probably start again if you don't have the where it started, the beginning. You know what I mean? The root. We always want to get to the root. Get to the root. Getting to the root can be a challenge as well, because it takes you sometimes into a deep, dark place. And if you are somebody who maybe battles mental health, then I suggest, finding you a therapist. That's another one that's a stigma in the community. People will look down on you. Oh, you need therapy? Like, you crazy? Look, let them say whatever they're going to say, baby, because I did some therapy. I have definitely done some therapy. I remember I was seeing a therapist at one point, and I was talking to him about my experience with grief and how I kind of built barriers, and I would keep people away and kind of sabotage relationships before they had a chance to sabotage me. Because baby, you ain't gonna leave me. What Glow said, she said, I don't get left, I'm the leaver. Okay. Something about Justin Bieber, I don't know. But anyways, you know what I'm talking about. I'm like, no, I'm out. Like, I'm gonna build these walls. You can't get too close because people leave and they die, and I can't allow this. And so I built these walls. And when I told him that, he said, wow. He was like, you figured that on your own? And I was like, yeah, because to me it seems like that was some basic discovery. It didn't seem too deep. But he said, I've realized, I'm helping people that have been coming to me for 10 years and they still haven't figured that out. And the first thing I thought was, well, damn, you know what I'm about to say. I stopped going to him because I'm like, well, damn, if they've been coming to you for 10 years and they ain't been able to figure that out with your assistance, what's going on here? Okay. But it was at that point, and I didn't, judge. I just knew at that point for myself, I was powerful. That I was powerful, and we all are. We're powerful beyond measure. And when we get caught up in the trauma and the generational curses that get laid down and passed down, and the addictions that we run to kind of like cope with all of this stuff, it really can cloud your sense of self. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's important to go through the process of recovery. And as you're doing so, you'll learn that you're going to uncover parts of yourself that you may have forgotten, or parts of yourself that you didn't even know. And so it's a very, very, very beautiful process, but one that is not a quick fix. It's going to take time, and it's very important to have a loving, strong, powerful community of support, friends, family, agencies, because sometimes, some people don't have friends, some people don't have family, and that's okay. There is somebody out there that will help you, and I encourage you to always do your research and look for what is in your community that you can tap into to assist you, because you hold the power, baby. You hold the power to change and shift your reality. Even if you are right now and you're looking at it and you're saying, I don't know how, baby, if there's a will, there's a way. Okay. I also do offer consultations. So if you are someone who is like, I want to stop, but I can't figure this out, please help me. You can click the link in the bio and definitely book a one-on-one so we can talk about, excuse me, creating a plan that can work for you, and get this thing going. Is there any questions here? I'm gonna wrap up soon for day one. Is there any questions? I really truly appreciate everybody for joining, and the support, the questions, the comments. Excuse me. I'll give y'all a minute to kind of little comments. Just check my notes, make sure I cover everything. Can't wait till tomorrow. Yes, I can't wait till tomorrow either. Thank you so much for joining. Yes, same time, same place. Excuse me. I need to go make me some tea. My little throat been a little itchy. Been a little itchy. Same time, same place. Excuse me, here on IG. So if you aren't following us here on Nubian-KreativGoddess, please make sure that you go ahead and press that follow button, share this live, share the replay. If you know somebody who is battling addiction, or you're supporting somebody who's battling addiction, or you just want to send it and share it with somebody who might know somebody to know somebody, because trust me, we all know somebody to know somebody. Go ahead and just share it. Let them know, hey, sis is going live for the next 4 days, because today is gone, but that's all right. Share it. Please share it. Invite them to come tap in so that they can get this medicine. and ask the questions that they may have, if they have any, or comment, and just engage, because it's important to build a strong community. Because at the end of the day, it's nothing like battling something and you're surrounded by people who really don't understand what you're going through or experiencing. And peace, welcome. And that can be very challenging as well, because you feel isolated, you feel alone. You're like, damn, I'm going through this and nobody understands me. And no matter how many times you try to explain it to them, they don't fucking get it. I know for me, battling during the battle of my addiction, on top of mental health, just being depressed, life be lifing. I love my family and they was trying to support me the best way they could. You know, I was back and forth between jobs. You know what I'm saying? And we'll talk later about that, how the addictions can affect different parts of your life. But it was like, you know, you just need to get a job. You need to do this. You need to do that. And I'm like, it was like crickets. Like, I love y'all and I know y'all trying to help me, but that's not gonna work, because honestly, you can get all the jobs you want to, but if your mental health is not right or you're battling addictions, you might not have that job for long, just because at the end of the day, there's a mental imbalance. There's the substance abuse. I know people personally who are, like, for instance, with alcohol. One of them, a friend of mine, and I won't say names, but I was allowed to share. She was going to work and she had to drink in order to go to work. She would go to work and she would, I mean, I don't even know how sis did it, but she would drink like a fifth or so a day, and that became like her way of functioning. Because again, it changes the brain chemistry, and so you will find that although you want to quit, it can be hard and it can affect how you show up. And so while I was battling jobs and life and all the stuff, my addiction was still running rampant. I wanted to drink more because I wanted to not feel, but then I also need to stop drinking because that's not helping the damn problem. But I didn't see a way out, because I didn't at the time. I didn't even think to look into like support. And then probably it might have been even some, some shame. Remember I talked about shame being a major one earlier. If there might have been some shame, like, oh my gosh, I don't know, I don't want to ask anybody. I don't want to look like I'm an addict. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want to look like this because society makes us feel a way when we're battling these things. But it's not, look, don't feel shame. Everybody's going through something. Everybody experienced something at some point in time, and there's many different addictions. Some people are addicted to shopping. Some people are addicted to working. Some people are addicted to cleaning. Okay, the addictions is addictions, and it hits in many different forms. So don't ever feel bad about what you're experiencing. You know what I'm saying? Again, if you are with somebody in a relationship, a friendship, a community that does not support you, that does not make you feel loved, seen, heard, felt, and witnessed, then maybe you need to just find some new people. That's all that is. And again, that too takes time, but just trust yourself and trust the process. And definitely stay prayed up, stay meditating, and ask God or whatever higher power you believe in, your ancestors, to support you and to show you, to guide you to the community that is for you. And just stay tapped in and tuned into yourself, because your higher self is always with you and will always guide you. Um, One of my teachers said, trust that the way knows the way. And so no matter what's going on, at the end of the day, you will find your way as long as you stay following your promptings, and it will guide you to where you need to be. But this basically about wraps up day one. It was something I wanted to say earlier and I kind of forgot. Um, but are there any more questions? Did anybody have any more questions or comments? Checking my notes again, make sure I covered everything. I think I covered everything. Again, like I said, you can always click the link in my bio to book a consultation if it's you that are struggling with addiction, or if you are a loved one that want to support somebody who's struggling with addiction. I am free to tap in with you via consultation to create a game plan, because they say the best teacher is a teacher of experience, and being that I have experienced it, I may be able to assist you along that way. So Definitely tap in. Again, I mentioned earlier, have the Freedom Express, an 8-step guide to kicking addiction to the curb. That ebook gives you 8 steps to kicking addiction. It also tells personal accounts of my story with addiction. And again, remember that it's okay to allow your spirit to guide you. If something doesn't resonate, that is okay, because what works for one doesn't work for everybody, and that's all right as well. But it's a beautiful, easy guide, 8 steps, and it can be really applied to any addiction. Although the cover art says or depicts alcohol and drugs, it can be applied to anything: shopping, sex, working, cleaning. Like, no, you should probably clean, but but yeah, I just thank you all. Thank you. I thank you all for joining. And I just want to leave you with the note that overcoming addiction, it can feel overwhelming. But just remember that small steps lead to big change. And the final step is realizing that help is available. Okay? Help is always available. Like I said before, you can always look at the local resources within your community. Where I live, I think it's like, is it like 211 or something? I'm not sure if it's, or is it 411? 211 or 411, one of those. And you can call and say, hey, this is what I'm dealing with. Call your insurance company. Shoot, if you want to go through insurance, call your insurance company and say, hey, this is what I'm dealing with. I need to find a provider that accepts my insurance. 211. Thank you. Yes. Call 211, say I need a resource for this or for that, and they'll gladly pull up some resources for you. Again, Google. You can Google Google what it is that you need. Access. Yes. I don't. Is access? Thank you for sharing that. Is access only for like Alameda County? Like, no, well, probably not only Alameda County. But I know. I think I learned about it in Alameda County. Is it for multiple counties or is it cross country? Because those resources are really, really good to have. They also help with mental health and drug or alcohol addiction. Yes, and that's what I was talking about earlier. A lot of times people who battle substance abuse also have a mental health component, and something like dual diagnosis, which means you're getting assistance for both, is going to be very important because you want to, be proactive and not reactive. They accept Medi-Cal. That's really beautiful. Very beautiful. Thank you for sharing. But yeah, you want to be able to go ahead and attack that from both ends. You want to make sure you're getting the full support that you need, and that may be mental health and drug and alcohol addiction help as well. Yeah. Did you know if the access is it throughout? We're in California here, but is it only a California program or is it for the entire United States? you believe you believe that it's, I'm not sure. Excuse me. Ooh, y'all, I really need to drink some tea from tomorrow and share tomorrow. Thank you. Yes, I appreciate that. Tomorrow I will have some more lists of resources. Each day I want to share a resource. Tomorrow, California. You're confirming that it is California. But yeah, I want to eat each day with, you know what I'm saying, some resources. So as you're joining, watching the replay, if you know of any resources, definitely feel free to share, because I believe in each one reach one, each one teach one. Each person reach out to somebody and help somebody. If I help one person, then I've done my job, and I'm so grateful to be able to assist. If I have taught one person, then I'm so grateful to be able to assist. And so, I am, because we are, connected. We're definitely connected. We are a community of people who are, especially I'm speaking more so of indigenous people. We are not a individual based community. We are very much a collective, very much a community based people. And so it's like you want to make sure that you do what you need to do for yourself first, but then you reach back and help somebody else. I think about the Kwanzaa principles, and one of them is, and I don't recall the actual name of it, but it's basically the concept of we make our brothers and sisters' problems our problem, and we solve them together. Excuse me, which is very, very important. A lot of times people, they want help and they need help and they just don't know where to start. And so if you can by any means at some point assist in any way, do what you can. And if not, that's okay too. Sometimes just listening can go a long, long way. Again, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate everybody who has joined, who will join later and watch the replay. I'll definitely save this live, and we will be back tomorrow, and we will dive a little deeper into the effects of addiction and how it affects the mental and physical health of a being. Okay, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you all. Again, if you were looking to book a consultation, click the link in the bio. I mentioned earlier the Easy Does It Mom Parenting and Recovery was a book that I used. That link is also in my bio. And if you are looking for a book to help overcome addictions, I have the Freedom Express, an 8-step guide to kicking addiction to the curb. Again, my name is Crystal Bolton, Nubian-KreativGoddess, CEO and founder, and I help women to strengthen their self-awareness so that they can heal trauma, break generational curses, and boss up, build on self-sustainability. Thank you so much for joining, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for day 2. Peace.